The Asia Animal Pack for Planet Zoo released on PC last week, and to celebrate its release I built this Japanese Island Shrine by the Japanese Raccoon Dog. Hey everyone, Beaver here with Beaver-Games. Welcome to the dam. The Japanese Raccoon Dog, also known as the Tanuki, is a small canid from the islands of Japan. These adorable animals play such an important role in Japanese folklore and mythology, and have a reputation for being mischievous, masters of disguise and shapeshifting, and oftentimes gullible creatures. Possibly the most famous Tanuki in classic folklore are the Bakke Tanuki, shape-shifting, human-possessing trickster Tanuki. They've been the subject of song, and before the introduction of Buddhism, were even the subject of worship as divine beings. Tanukis are naturally nocturnal, or crepuscular, or both. Google didn't really give a distinction and seemed to use the terms interchangeably when I was researching them. They are omnivorous, eating insects, rodents and fish, and have also been known to forage for berries and nuts by climbing trees. Sadly, in Japan itself, it is legal to hunt tanuki due to them being labelled invasive and a pest species. However, the IUCN still considers the tanuki of least concern despite this, due to high population numbers. Talking about the new DLC very quickly, I'm really enjoying it. The animals are all top tier in terms of quality. The tanuki was definitely one of my most anticipated animals. I'm so glad we have more Japanese representation in the game. Leave a comment below to let me know if you've got the pack, or if you're waiting to get it on sale, or if you're gonna give it a pass altogether. If you do have it, what's your favourite thing from this pack? On to talking about the build now. I build up the terrain, creating a hill on which I want to add a small Japanese shrine. I add a lot of the rock work early on, so I can see roughly where I want my pathing to go. The vision was to have this winding path that goes up the front, then a path ran to the left to a natural cave, and a path to the right for a Japanese garden area. This is one of those builds I could have spent weeks on, moving rocks, adding plants, tweaking the details, and watching the recorded footage back, there's a lot of going back and forth between one thing and another. Hopefully, after editing, this video will be fairly seamlessly smooth, and you won't see me going back to the rocks or plants over and over again. Here I am building a moon gate meant to symbolise harmony, completeness, and a transition between spaces. Moon gates are not strictly speaking Japanese, they're more commonly associated with Chinese architecture. However, they are found in many Japanese gardens, and I felt that it was appropriate to add here on the island. Building up this Japanese garden area now, I wanted a lot of colour to reflect real life Japanese gardens, and I think the end result came out well. For the trees, I've used sycamore maple, Japanese maple, cherry blossoms, and I've got a few river bush willows in there as well. I've used a lot of Bengal bamboo and fountain bamboo for filler plants. For the bushes, I've used creosote, saltwort, yucca, elephant grass, Virginia creepers, bromeliad and azalea bushes. I've used a bit of buffalo grass and dead leaf litter as well. The Zen pebbles really help add to this build and add to the sense of calm and tranquility this garden offers. Creating a cave for the tanuki was simple, yet I think it adds a nice touch to the build. I hollow out some of the hill and clad the inside with rocks. I add some silver birch branches to imply some kind of nest. I've also added the strangler fig roots to the inside to add a bit more detail and interest to the cave. The path up from the moon gate leads to the shrine at the top of the island. It's a simple enough building, made by using the East Asia beam pieces. On the top I have the East Asia roof tower top, and around the outside I add the East Asia fence pieces. I've hung one of the new bells we get from the Asia Animal Pack to the entrance of the shrine. In Japanese culture, this bell would be rung before prayers were made and offerings left at the shrine. I add an East Asia water shrine piece to the build, and plant around it with various grasses and shrubs. I also place stones along the pathway leading up from the moon gate, and closer to the top I add steps made from the East Asia dry stone wall panels. I've added fences around for a bit of safety, but also for theming. It's nearly time to get the animals in and for the cinematics now. I hope you enjoyed those. For now though, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.